It's car con carne. Let's eat in the car. It's car con carne. And now here's the star of our show, James Van Alstyne.
And we are live. It is Car Con Carne. I'm James Van Alstyne. Car Con Carne is sponsored by our friends at Siren Records, McHenry, 3902 Main Street in McHenry. Stuck at home, want to dive into vinyl? This is where you need to start and start bulking up your library, your personal record collection. Siren Records, it's in McHenry, 3902. And if you go there, there's every chance you'll find me there. So tonight, I'm joined by two, I dare say, visionaries. It is Adrian Stein and Zac Hall, the creators behind the stunning new exhibit, Quantum Mirror. How stunning, I hear you ask? We can see it behind you. It looks like you're beaming in from the Delta Quadrant tonight.
We are. We are from the Delta Quadrant of your minds.
The exhibit, Quantum Mirror, is at ARTSPACE 8 at 900 North Michigan. You can go there 6 days a week. You have to reserve your space in advance. So this is a COVID world we're living in. Guys, I don't know how to explain what the exhibit is. I mean, the uniqueness should be reason enough to check it out. My general sense is it challenges our sense of self, and I'll let you kind of explain what Quantum Mirror is.
For sure. So Quantum Mirror is a top-to-bottom, ceiling-to-floor infinity room that has 150 plus mirrored surfaces that are reflecting, as you can see around us, a group of screens in the middle of it, which we put in there as a metaphor for modern human consciousness and the way that our consciousness has been entangled to the point of non-recognition with technology.
Got it?
Yeah. Because we really wanted to bring to the viewer's attention, just this idea that we've become cyborgs, that if as Zac said, if you're reading this, it's too late.
Yeah, the future is now.
Anybody who's viewing this, if you're viewing it on Facebook or on the internet, that means that your consciousness, your state of humanity is not the same as your ancestors, right? Like you wouldn't be able to do your job without a computer,
right.
With cameras, without these other things. Our intelligence and our consciousness has been augmented beyond what humanity was in the past. And so that's kind of what we want to visually represent here with these digital bodies that are reflected into infinity with all of these mirrors, but then also having your physical body in the midst of that.
This is quite literally escapist entertainment. This is like out of body stuff going on here.
I would disagree. I think that for some people you could consider it escapist, but for me, I see it as a head-on confrontation with
escapism.
And also the impending obsolescence of humanity itself. Truly, I mean, because it won't be that long before artificial intelligence is embedded into the human brain. I mean, like, there are several companies that are in version 7 plus of this technology, and I think that really it's just a matter of time. And you can, like, traditional humans are already obsolete. If you don't have an iPhone, if you don't have a smartphone or a computer, you already can't compete in most sectors of the American economy. And that trend is only going to continue. And I think that this piece confronts that reality.
See, it's interesting. You caught me in a rare glass half full moment. I am that guy who watches every dystopian and apocalyptic movie. So I generally do agree with you. I'm full on board with what you're saying. So building out this space, 15,000 square foot space, geometrically mirrored walls. You've got audio stuff going on too. This seems like a huge undertaking just to build out.
Yeah, it definitely took a part of our lives to make this happen, and our souls. You'll see it when you come. But we spent 2 months of 16-hour days to get this thing up and running, and it was a true adventure because the piece itself evolved through the process of making it, and we did as well.
A lot,
yeah.
And so you put it up during this weird pandemic time. Have there been people milling through there? Because I know it's a challenging time, and I think seeing it right now, hopefully, we'll get more people excited.
Yeah, of course. I mean, we have, we're not wearing masks right now because we've spent, like he said, all day, every day together for the past 4 months, really. But, when the exhibition is open, then, we have masks on, 6 feet. We're very serious about COVID, and this is a space where it's definitely possible to explore this art in a safe fashion.
Absolutely. And so the way that we're doing it is by appointment only. We have reservations open on the website, which is looneystein.com. And we're allowing only 10 people in the gallery at a time and only one group inside of the sculpture at a time. So people can enjoy it, can have ample time to walk around, ample space as well. And we like to keep it safe, but not safe enough for the mind to be fully comfortable. We definitely want to get a little bit of that dystopian twist in there too.
Absolutely.
So, I mean, essentially, the visitors are part of the art. They become part of the exhibition, meaning that no two people's experiences are the same, which I think is really cool. I can take from this something different from the person I come there with.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. And it totally has to do with the depth that you look at the experience as or with, because I wanted to touch on that kind of escapist mentality when you're walking into a room that's full of mirrors and it looks beautiful and it looks like, oh my God, this is totally an Instagrammable moment. But actually that this room is about the blending of your self-perception with a lack thereof.
You just went mute. There we go. Yeah, this past year...
technical difficulties.
You're there. We're good, I think.
Okay.
There we go. This past year it's been a challenging year from a mental health perspective. It's been a year of isolation. I would imagine for people who spent the majority of the past 12 months sheltering in place, staying at home, seeing themselves projected against this infinite void has to strike a real emotional chord with people like getting out of their home for the first time and coming downtown to 900 North. It's like, I don't know if my mind was ready for this.
So sorry, we're getting a little bit of a distortion there in your voice again. I think it might take a little second for the voice to come back.
Welcome to dystopia, where the technology is thwarting us. We're already past the tipping point.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Way past the tipping point. I feel like the point of no return has been passed a lot.
So what I was saying was the past year it's been a challenging one for mental health. We've been sheltering in place. We've been stuck at home. So for people coming to see this exhibit, seeing themselves projected against this infinite void, it's got to strike an emotional chord. I mean, do you guys kind of stand off in a corner and watch people react?
Oh yeah. It's always great to see the reactions because they're totally taken aback. They can't believe that this space is the size that it is because the optical clarity is so high and the illusion of space is so vast because there's mirrors in every single surface. And traditionally the mirror rooms that have come about in the art world have just walls, not a ceiling and a floor. And so when you see yourself, I see people almost like stepping in with a little bit of fear, like, am I going to fall into this place? Which is actually exciting, even conceptually, because you are kind of meant to sort of fall into this experience, right?
Yeah, and just to build on that, there is a moment when you first walk in, because the floor and the ceiling are both mirror, that when you take your first step, it really looks like you're kind of like taking a step literally just into the void. Like, you know that the floor is there, but visually you don't. And then
this is the coolest. This is the coolest. I swear. I don't mean to cut you off, Zac, but I'm not even looking at your faces. I'm looking through you. I'm looking between your heads, and I'm mesmerized by what's going on behind you. Sorry,
yeah,
go ahead.
And I think that's kind of the point. And actually, to tie into your thing about how everybody's been locked down for so long and they've been having the same routine experiences day in and day out, it's really rewarding to see people come in here and have, like these Instagrammable moments, right? Where they're like, there have been people who have come in for like full on dressed to the nines. They're here for the photo shoot, right? And it's a beautiful moment. Like, it's a beautiful human experience, and it's a beautiful display of modern humanity. And actually, it's kind of like, what's that artist's name that taped a banana to the wall? Where like, and the art wasn't the banana on the wall. The art was the performance of the whole world around them. And in the same way, these people who come in for Instagram photo shoots, it's like that, where it's like, this piece is about Instagram. It's about Facebook. It's about these online identities that we all have, that are like fractions of your real identity. And each one of them is separate. And that's what all of these bodies flying around us digitally represent. And so it's really rewarding for us, kind of almost on a subversive level, to see people having that experience, probably totally unaware of the fact that they're really living evidence of like what this piece speaks to.
Yeah, what this piece is about. Exactly.
They're part of the show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like we're all actors in this piece. Yeah.
And there is something also to the structure of Quantum Mirror that speaks to that too, to its reflectivity and its geometric nature too. Because let me just pan around here, please, for a second. As you can see, there are just, it is an absolute infinity of space that gets created here. Yeah. And so this is the screen, one of the screens that is in the middle here.
I don't know if it helps to have me here for context, but here's the core.
Wow.
Screen, and then here's the rest of the room. And
wow.
Yeah. And so the geometry of this space is very complex, and that's how you get this kaleidoscopic effect. It's not just the rectangular box that you've seen. We want to continue the conversation beyond like where Yayoi Kusama left it off, and one of the ways that we do that is with the increased complexity in the geometry.
Exactly. This is Logan's Run level shit going on here. I love it. I my jaw as you're panning around, Zac, my jaw is hanging down during the broadcast because this is so. I have nothing to contextualize this.
And that's the thing, is that we are in an age where we have no context to understand what's going on with humanity right now, because in the industrial age, we could see that very directly as an evolution from the technology before. And in the post-industrial age, we could see that as a direct evolution. But then the things that we have access to now, the massive connectivity and what that does to our self-perception and our perception of each other, we have no foundation to try to understand what that does to our minds.
Yeah.
And so when we design the space specifically to give that sense of just total awe, and it is truly sublime to be in here.
Yeah.
As we're talking and as you're sharing these thoughts in the background, I'm realizing how many different levels this exhibit works on. Mm-hmm. For pure face value, okay, mind blowing. But all these little subversive angles you're throwing out, this is a really, you're mad geniuses, is what you are. This is.
At least one of them, mad and or geniuses.
Yeah.
So,
go ahead, Zac.
With this point that you made of how confusing it is to see, because Adrian and I, previous to this piece, had been making other pieces and designs and concepts that we had a whole series where we wanted to create work that was only, like, you could take pictures of it, but it never, like, you really, really have to be there to experience it in person. Of course, you always have to be there. It's not ever quite the same. But with mirrors, we found we did an installation briefly at the Garfield Park Conservatory that was like, it had like 95 mirrors hanging amongst all of this like jungle foliage with a few lights in there. And when you took photos, almost all of the mirrors disappeared and you could only see the lights. And that was what we wanted. We wanted it to be subversive. We wanted it to be something that like you just couldn't see unless you were there. And I think that this achieves that same concept on another level, where you can film it and Instagram it all day long, but really the environment is so confusing that unless you come experience it in person, like, it's just not going to make any sense.
Yeah.
And to be clear, what we're recording here is a podcast, and I've been recording the podcast direct to video for the past year. If you are listening to the podcast after this recording, stop listening to the podcast, watch the video. This is one of those times where ignore the primary distribution method, go right to the video, go right to Facebook, go right to YouTube, because this really needs to be seen to be believed.
Yeah, that's exactly what we want.
Good, thank you.
Go to the screen because you can't avoid it. You cannot avoid it.
Plug into the machine.
This is the most old man thing I've said on the podcast, I think, since it launched 7 years ago. But NFT is a new term to me, a new acronym. I became aware of it truly only recently. Kings of Leon released their new album as an NFT, which of all, you don't think of them as this big digital groundbreaking band, but here we are. Explain what that is and how it relates to this exhibit.
Yeah, and so I guess as the digital wizard of the project, I'll take on this question. So NFTs are short for non-fungible tokens. What that means is that you're basically leveraging the crypto blockchain to create a contract of ownership for a digital asset, which is the thing that has been lacking forever for all digital assets because they're so easy to copy and reproduce. So that allows artists to create this contract of ownership for a digital piece. And what you're buying is that piece along with the contract that says, I own this. And there are only these many contracts for this image. And so that creates and challenges the system of value that we thought of for art, right? It basically creates scarcity in a world that was designed to eliminate scarcity. And so it's this very interesting thing that has brought on this gigantic wave of the distribution of scarcity. And the interesting thing about the structure of Quantum Mirror is that I initially designed it to be a metaphor for consciousness, but then it became a metaphor for value and originality as well, because you're seeing this central core, which has original NFTs as digital animations playing within it, but around the whole environment is an infinity of copies, right? So what Quantum Mirror is doing with light, NFTs have the ability to do through the blockchain. There's one original that can be copied and sold X amount of times, defined solely by the user, or by the seller in this case. And then they are interconnected and networked with each other because that contract contains the information of all of the other ones that are being bought and sold. And so it's truly this thing that challenges not only the perception of the viewer of that singular piece as it reflects, but also of the value of the piece that they can buy and then sell from the sculpture.
I'm glad I asked this question after you explained the exhibit, because with all the groundwork you laid explaining what this is all about, there was no way you couldn't use NFTs for this.
Exactly.
Like it fits into the overall aesthetic of what this exhibit is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I think that NFTs have really only been like in the mainstream consciousness for a couple of months. So this is pretty timely, for this sculpture to come up. But as far as I'm aware, I don't think that there's another like real world sculpture that is speaking to NFTs that's like specifically designed to house and like speak on what an NFT is, or like commentary. Like I'm not aware of any other like physical 3-dimensional real world art you can step foot inside of that speaks on this subject, So
by the way, Adrian, you explained that beautifully.
Thank you.
For someone who has no prior knowledge or understanding, you explained that beautifully. I mean, we live in a world where people still aren't sure what podcasts are. So
yeah,
right. Exactly.
The more we can do to explain these digital things to the universe, the better we'll all be.
And well, the thing about art that is inaccessible, and I had a great conversation with my friend Davis McCarty about this. He's like, well, if a child and a grandparent can't enjoy it, then why are you making it? And that's sort of the animosity that I grew against the art world when I came out of I went to the Art Institute, so I went to a very traditional and set in stone art institution. And the thing that disgusted me the most was art that people couldn't understand, art that people couldn't absorb.
Like deliberately,
yeah. Almost. And then to be able to create something that operates on all of these levels, that whether or not your average Joe walks into the sculpture and understands these things at those levels, it doesn't really matter to the value of the sculpture. The value still has an intrinsic value as a human experience, right? Because they are able to appreciate the beauty. They're able to take in sort of this magnitude that reflects on their own consciousness. But then the more you sit in it, the more you sit with the emotions, I feel like the deeper you're able to kind of understand and grasp that message.
Everything you guys are doing and saying is exciting. I love this. And if people want to go see Quantum Mirror at ARTSPACE 8, it's on the 3rd floor of 900 North Michigan, Monday through Saturday, 12:30 to 5:30. As you guys mentioned, COVID safety guidelines are in place. And I think Adrian mentioned you can register for free at Looney Stein, Looney like Looney, Stein like Frankenstein.com. Looney Stein.
That's what I always say. Yeah.
I love this, and it seems clear to me, and I'm sure I don't want to, push you in a direction you don't want to go, but it seems to me like this is something you can take to other big cities. It seems like other markets would welcome this installation with open arms.
Yeah, to the moon, baby, with diamond hands.
I mean, for all I know, you're on the moon right now.
And so, actually, I designed this sculpture to be road worthy. Right, like for it to be fully flat packed and taken anywhere around the world. And then Zac's input on the design and the fabrication as well just made it able to travel throughout the world if we can, when we can.
I love it. So I can't say it many more times, or I can, but Quantum Mirror at ARTSPACE 8, 3rd floor of 900 North Michigan. This plan the afternoon around this. This looks awesome. Thank you guys for showing it off. I really getting the perspective and seeing it just mind blowing.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
So much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We appreciate your time.
Yeah. We really, really appreciate it. And would you like one last walk around?
Yeah.
You want to be the subject of this?
You go.
Are you serious?
Let's do this.
All right.
Oh no. Oh no.
Sorry. Oh, did we lose you?
No, I'm here. This is
okay,
so
here
cool.
we go. So,
I mean, it looks like this just goes on forever. It's all mirrors. It looks like we're going to be spending the day going on this tour. Look, the colors, the visuals are just.
Show you the doorway.
Oh yeah. So here's the doorway back to reality.
Wait, now which pill do you take to go back there? Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
This is truly like walking into. This is everything that Tron promised me when I was a kid.
Yes. Tron is absolutely was the inspiring force behind the work that brought us together. Really,
it really was.
Like the ancestor of this project as well.
The last Tron movie, that soundtrack, one of the best soundtracks of the 21st century.
We listened to that on repeat building this thing. Oh my God.
Rest in peace to Daft Punk.
For real. That is one of the best. Guys, thank you. We'll come see you. No doubt about it. This is exactly what we need this year.
Can't wait. Absolutely. You're what we need.
Good. Yeah.
All right. Stay right there. I'm going to end the broadcast, but stay right there.
All right.